intelligence and special operations soldier. He served multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was a U.S. Army Special Operations intelligence.
Damn, that fucking Captain America in this. What the fuck? What do you got to say? What do you got to say?
Intelligence analyst, former Delta Force. And
Delta Force. He one of them boys. He one of them boys. Okay, let's see what he got to say.
He's like the world. Brett, I'm looking at this situation in Iran. I think economically they're being choked off by the president and our military. Apparently the Pakistanis have found some land ways to get them some resources. And yet they're mediators apparently for our negotiations. So that's a little weird. Also, our military is poised, sitting, waiting. And I want to ask you about this. During the Reagan administration, the Reagan doctrine, we helped train, our CIA did, help train and arm the Mujahideen, Northern Alliance with Afghanistan, also Nicaragua, also in Angola, and it was very, very effective. You got 92 million people in that country who I think are a resource, plus they want to be liberated. They don't want to be slaughtered anymore. The economy is going to collapse at some point. It's going to hurt them as well.
Damn. So they said their economy is going to collapse. That is, that's not good. That's not good for the people inside the country. That's not good for the people that's residing there. That's just trying to live, man. That's not good. That means they're not going to be able to eat and they're not going to be able to sustain themselves.
Am I the only one who thinks that we ought to be arming and supporting the people in Iran? I mean, in a way in which they can actually contribute to their own liberation?
Well, I think you're right, Mark. I think it's time for the Iranian people to rise up. They hate this regime more than ever, and we've given them the time and space to do.
Okay, so America's technically saying that Iran does not support the regime that's in power right now. And I don't really know whether that's true or whether that's not true, but that's what they're saying. And he seems to be a very legitimate guy, Delta Force, Special Operations, Captain America. So he seems to be knowing what he's talking about. So if he says that they don't like the regime and it's time for them to stand up, let's see what he has to say about it.
Do that, because what's happening right now is very simple. The United States has Iran economically and militarily pinned against the wall. Iranian oil exports have collapsed.
Okay, so militarily and economically pinned against the wall. So we're defeating them, but this is the spoils of war, right? This is exactly how it's going to feel. It's not going to feel good when you win a war, because if their economy is going to collapse and people are going to starve, that's obviously not going to be good. And it's just not going to be very sustainable for a very long amount of time. Like the PR on that, like it's just not going to look good. Like it's just not going to look good.
By over 80%, you have tens of millions of barrels stuck on tankers that can't go anywhere. That's not just pressure, that's a chokehold on the regime's lifeline. Oil is how they fund everything: terror proxies, missiles, repression of their own people. And right now that engine is stalling, and starving the regime of cash, frankly, can be more devastating than another night of US airstrikes. And President Trump...
Honestly, it is. Honestly, it is. He's not even, he's let him cook, bro. Let him cook. He's talking his shit, bro. He's talking his shit. This is exactly what we be needing, bro. We be needing somebody to just talk they shit real quick. So yes, bro, they're losing and they don't have what they need, bro. They can't export shit, bro. They can't even use their oil, bro. They can't export shit because America is blockading their ass. Don't export shit, bro. Don't export shit, bro.
Is doing right now exactly what a commander-in-chief is supposed to do in moments like this. He's keeping every option on the table while forcing the adversaries to react to us. CENTCOM is briefing him now on fresh military options, which shows me that America is already planning several moves ahead. And that's how deterrence is built. Not by announcing one single path forward, but by creating uncertainty in the mind of your adversary. Iran doesn't know whether our next step is funding, local Iranians, or tighter economic pressure, or expanding maritime enforcement, or precision military action. And that uncertainty is power. That uncertainty is leverage. That is real leadership. No more fake diplomacy. No more fake.
No more fake diplomacy.
Lines. That's exactly why President Trump's strategy is working here. And if I was advising the president, I'd tell him now is not the time to let up. If you let up, you hand the Iranian regime survival. You hand them exactly what they want and have used as a tactic for decades. This regime right now is trying every single game they can to survive long enough to rearm. And this may be the best opportunity we've ever had to fundamentally change the trajectory of this regime. The cost of backing down right now is generational. And these next few days and moments, Mark, they are going to define whether we break their cycle for good or reset it for the next generation of our own children to have to deal with.
That's very interesting you say that.
He wants to end it now. I want it now. I want it now. He wants to end it now, bruh. He wants it. He don't know. He's not waiting, bro. He wants to end it right now. Like, bruh, we honestly, bro, like we already got ourselves in this stupid war, bruh. If Trump was gonna do it, he might as well win it, bro. Like if he just gonna do shit, he might as well do it to the extent, bro. Like you can't just get into a war for no reason, bro. This is stupid, bro. But like at least we can get some oil out of it, bro. It's just stupid. It's just a dumbass war. I feel like it's just dumb.
So let me dig in a little bit further. You seem to be a little concerned about a notion or a pathway towards so-called containment. You know, that's what people are talking about. Versus outright defeating the regime by the means the president's putting in place. Where do you come down on that?
Well, here's the deal. Iran has spent decades threatening America and destabilizing the world. Now it actually seems like they're the ones begging for relief. And by the way, asking us to stop this blockade. But yet they're being very disingenuous in the negotiations as they have done for decades. They want relief first instead of accountability. They want their money flowing back again before discussing the bomb. And the president should reject any proposal of the sort. It would seem that the president...
So you're saying that the problem right here, the stalemate that they're going through is that America wants accountability. America wants them to not create another nuclear weapon. But Iran is so fixated on they're so focused on trying to get the money back flowing into the systems back and shit, and so focused on getting their money and shit, and trying to restabilize their whole economy and their whole world, bro. That they want it so fast, and honestly, I don't know. I'm not even mad at them for wanting it that fast, but it's like, damn, bro, that's what you want right now. Is like you want to build a nuke that bad, but like, bro, they can't have the nuke, bro. They just can't have it, bro. They cannot have it, bro.
Understands the situation where other administrations have failed to learn. Sanctions relief before nuclear compliance is really just surrender disguised as diplomacy. We're not going to write another blank check. We're not going to hand them survival. For years, Iran dictated the pace of nuclear discussions. They out-talked our diplomat. They stalled our diplomats. They stalled talks. They kept enriching. They dared the world to stop them, but now it's the opposite. We're setting the terms, we're controlling the battlefield, and we're forcing Iran to react. And that's the type of leadership we need. And I think that's the difference, as you said, it's the difference between leadership and management. Previous administrations have tried to manage Iran, hoping that if we sent enough diplomats, we spoke nicely, we sent enough pallets of cash, that somehow the regime would become reasonable. But that didn't work.
Very well said.
It doesn't make them reasonable. You feel me? It doesn't make them reasonable. That's a very good thing to say. That the money's not gonna fix everything, bro. It's just not gonna fix everything the way that you think it is, bro. It's just like the money's not always gonna, aid is not always gonna fix everything, bro. Because they already thinking about doing stupid shit. And I feel like they thinking about that shit because they got enriched uranium. What do you need enriched uranium for? Nigga, build a road, nigga. Like, what the hell? Niggas just need to be regular niggas on Earth. Why do niggas want to build nukes and start blowing up 10,000 people in one go? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not even war.
Meantime, President Trump says he doubts the U.S. will accept Iran's latest proposal, threatening the regime with a fresh round of new strikes if they don't fall in line. Madeline Rivera.
So Trump already threatening the drone strikes. I mean, not the drone strikes, but the fucking the little Tomahawk missiles, boy. He keep doing that shit. Look at his face. Look at him.
He's live in Washington with the very latest. Hi, Maddie.
Good morning, Griff. Iranian media reports the regime has sent the U.S. a 14-point proposal, but it does not appear to immediately address one of President Trump's key sticking points, which is Iran's nuclear program. Axios reports per sources the plan set a one-month deadline for negotiations on a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, end the U.S. naval blockade, and permanently end the war in Iran and in Lebanon. Per the Iranian proposal, only after such a deal is reached, another month of negotiations would be launched to try and reach a deal on the nuclear program, the two sources said. The president doesn't sound too happy with that. He says on Truth Social, "I will soon be reviewing the plan that Iran has just sent to the U.S., but can't imagine that it would be acceptable in that they have not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years.
So essentially what he's saying is what the Delta Force dude was saying earlier, is that essentially, bruh, like, if they gonna make a nuclear bomb, there's no point of negotiating with them. Like, there's no point of negotiating on the term of like, we're gonna help you out, we're gonna give you money, shit like that. There's no point of doing all that if they're still gonna create a nuclear weapon. So he's saying that they're not, that he hasn't really, they're not taking accountability for anything. That's essentially what he's trying to say. But he's still a sack shit. Fuck that nigga. But like, you feel me?
Now the president is leaving the door open for more strikes.
Look at
if the deal
this.
is not reached.
Look at this. It's 4K.
If we left right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now. We're going to do it so nobody has to go back in 2 years or 5 years.
Under what circumstances would you restart military strikes on targets?
Well, I don't want to say that. I mean, I can't tell that to a reporter. If they misbehave, if they do something bad, but right now, we'll see. But, you know, it's a possibility that could happen, certainly.
Sources tell Fox the head of CENTCOM, Admiral Brad Cooper, met with the president last week to brief him on the Strait of Hormuz blockade and other issues that fragile ceasefire is currently holding. The White House
Okay, so there's still a ceasefire. There's still no. Okay.
telling Congress the deadline for the War Powers Act does not apply because the fighting that began in February has stopped for now. Griff.
Madeline Rivera, live for us in Washington. Maddie, thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Okay,
for
so
all
I
the
mean,
Fox News.
that's what it is, man. Like, essentially, it's going down. It's going down, bro. Like, Trump is not taking it off the table that he'll drop another tomahawk missile on these niggas. He keep doing it, and he's very addicted to doing that shit.